Dear TV viewers, hello and welcome to this lesson aimed at pupils of 9th form of basic education. Today's lesson is entitled Tourism. Let's start by talking about traveling and travel. Why do you think people like to travel? Some people like to travel to visit tourist monuments. When we go to Paris, we go to visit the Eiffel Tower, and anyone who goes to India visits its famous monuments, which is a way of discovering new cultures and which is in itself enjoyable and fun. We can say that traveling is a means of entertainment. But when we travel, do we always speak the Arabic language? Of course not. When we go to a place where people do not speak Arabic, we need to use a foreign language. So we can say that traveling enables us to practice and improve the foreign language. But what else comes into our mind when we speak about the traveling and tourism? Other than sightseeing, which we have already spoken about, the word holidays come into our mind. We may travel when we are on holidays. Where do we stay when we travel? Normally, we stay in hotels. How can we book in hotels? How can we reserve in hotels? Travel agencies offer many services, such as booking in hotels, booking flights, and organizing trips. And how do people travel? We need means of transport. We can go by car if we are not going far, or we can use the ship and the ferry or the ferry. If you want to go to Kirkana, we need to go by ferry, and if you want to go to Spain, we can use the ship, or we can go by plane, which is the quickest and the most practical means of transport. This is a picture of a plane flying in the sky. Let's have a look at the inside of this plane. There are many seats. Some of them are near the windows. We call them window seats. The other seats are not near the windows. They are near the aisles. We call them aisle seats. So there are two types of seats, window seats and aisle seats. Let's move now to the inside of the airport. As you can see here, there are many check-in desks. Anyone who travels needs to go through these desks to check in his luggage, because anyone who travels needs to bring his luggage with him. Of course, luggage means any suitcases or bags used to travel. This is an example of luggage. These are pieces of luggage. But what else do we need when we want to travel? Surely, we need a passport and a plane ticket. These are the pictures of a passport and of a plane ticket. This is a view taken from a plane. But how can we see such a view? From a window seat or from an aisle seat? Obviously, we can see such a view from a window seat. Can we see it when the plane is flying up in the sky? Of course not. We can see it only if the plane is landing or if the plane is taking off. Where does a plane take off? Or where does a plane land? A plane lands at the airport. This is a picture of an airport. Let's go back to the inside of the airport. These, as we have said already, check-in desk. This is a series of check-in desks. Joe is a passenger. He is now waiting to check in his luggage. He is at Heathrow Airport. He is having a conversation. This is another view of Heathrow Airport. Joe is having a conversation with the woman at the check-in desk. Let's read the conversation together and replace the pictures with their appropriate words. The woman says, "Can I have your and your, please?" What does the woman ask for? Normally, she asks for a ticket. This is the picture of a ticket. And for a passport. This is the picture of a passport. The woman says also, how many have you got? Just this one. How many what? She surely asks for luggage. Can we say the word luggage here? No, we can't, because we have how many. With how many, we cannot use uncountable nouns. We can only use countable nouns. So we can choose between the word suitcase or the word bag. So we have the picture of a bag. We should say, how many bags have you got? Just this one. The woman says, did you pack yourself? Here we can choose between the word luggage, bags, or suitcases. This is a picture of luggage. Did you pack your luggage yourself? Yes, I did. The woman says, have you got any in your? What can she ask for now? Of course, for safety in plane, they normally ask for knives and scissors. Have you got any sharp items in your? Where shouldn't we put these items when we go into the plane? We shouldn't put them in our hand bag. Have you got any sharp items in your hand luggage? Joe says, no, I haven't. The woman, and would you like a or an? Now she is not asking. She wants him to choose between two things. Let's have a look at the answer of Joe. Joe says, okay, I would like an aisle seat. So obviously, she wants him to choose between two kinds of seats. The first picture is the picture of a window seat. So she says, and would you like a window seat, or the other type is, of course, the aisle seat. Okay, I would like an aisle seat. The woman says, okay, you are in seat 32C. Here is your. What does she give him? This is a picture of a document. Of course, it's not a ticket, but it is a boarding pass. We can say boarding pass, and we can also say boarding card. Joe says, which gate is it? The woman, gate 23. Enjoy your trip to Tunisia. So, Joe is coming to Tunisia. Joe says, okay, thank you very much, goodbye, thank you, bye-bye. Before coming to Tunisia, Joe visited many places. This graph shows us the places that Joe visited. There are many numbers, 7 numbers, so there are 7 places. In picture number 1, we can see the Eiffel Tower. Did Joe visit the Eiffel Tower? Let's see. Joe says, I have enjoyed the view from the Eiffel Tower. So yes, Joe visited Paris. After that, Joe saw kangaroos. Which place is famous for kangaroos? Obviously, Australia. Joe says, I have flown to Australia where I saw kangaroos. The arrow takes us to picture number 3, which is the Statue of Liberty. Joe visited New York then. In fact, he says, I have looked at New York from the top of the Statue of Liberty. What's next? Let's follow the arrow. In number 4, we have the picture of Big Ben. Did he go to Britain? Big Ben is in London. Joe says, I have seen and heard Big Ben in London. After Britain, we can see bullfighting. Bullfighting is found in Spain. Joe says, I have watched some bullfighting in Spain. After Spain, the pyramids. Joe visited the pyramids in Egypt. Joe says, I have been to Egypt to admire the pyramids. The last picture is the picture of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Joe says, I have visited the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. He's a lucky person. He has gone to many places. Let's look at all the sentences he said together. I have enjoyed the view from the Eiffel Tower. I have flown to Australia where I saw kangaroos. I have looked at New York from the top of the Statue of Liberty. I have seen and heard Big Ben in London. I have watched some bullfighting in Spain. I have been to Egypt to admire the pyramids. I have visited the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. Let's focus now on the verbs. How many parts are there in each verb? There are 2 parts, the auxiliary have and the past participle of the verbs. When did all these visits take place? In the past, of course. But do we know exactly when they happened? We don't, of course, because there is no indication of that in any of the sentences. This means that we do not say, I have seen and heard Big Ben in London last year. We rather say, I have seen and heard Big Ben in London, and we do not say last year. We can conclude then that one of the uses of this tense is that it can indicate an action which happened at an undetermined time in the past. This tense is the present perfect and its form is have or has plus the past participle of the verb. With the subject pronouns I, we, you and they, we say have visited. With the subject pronouns he and she, we say has visited. With the subject pronoun it, we also say has. It has made some noise. We are going to watch a video sequence showing a visitor on a trip to London. Let's watch it together. We have seen now the River Thames. These are the towers. This is a tourist. He's in a cab. The Big Ben. This is the London Eye. He seems happy, of course. This is the double-decker, the big buses. Now he is going out of the cab. He's entering a hotel. Someone is helping him with his luggage. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed it. Now we have a conversation between this person and his friend. Let's read it together and choose the correct alternative. I'm having a great time. Tell me about it. What you have done, have you done, or did you so far? Here we have so far. With so far we need the present perfect. And it's a question. So we need auxiliary plus subject plus past participle. So the correct answer is have you done. What have you done so far? Well, I've been to or at or in Buckingham Palace. With have been, we say to. Well, I've been to Buckingham Palace. That was the first thing we did. It's right in the center of London. Have you seen the House of Parliament? Since, yet, or for. It's a question. We have since. Do we say since at the end of a sentence? No. After since, we need a definite point in time. After for, we need a period of time. So, since is not suitable here and for is not suitable here. The suitable answer is yet. Yet is used with the present perfect and at the end of the sentence. Yes, I have. I have just had, just have had, or have had just a boat ride on the River Thames. Just is an adverb of time used with the present perfect. Its normal place is in the middle, between the auxiliary and the past participle. The correct answer is surely, I have just had a boat ride on the River Thames, and we went right past the House of Parliament. We saw Big Ben. While, whereas, or then, I went on the London Eye. While and whereas are used to make a contrast between two sentences. Here we don't have two sentences and we don't need to make a contrast. So the correct answer is then. Then I went on the London Eye. That was this morning. This afternoon, I am going, I will, I am thinking of to take a taxi. The three verbs, the three alternatives here express the future. Let's look at the verb after the parentheses. We have an infinitive with to take a taxi. With I am going, we can use to. We can say I am going to take a taxi. Can we say will to take? Of course not. After will, we need an infinitive without to. I am thinking of to take a taxi. Is it appropriate? Of course not. After thinking of, we need a verb in its ing form. So the correct answer here is I am going to take a taxi to Hyde Park and then go shopping in Harrods. Wow, you're busy. And what about those big red buses? Have you traveled? Will you travel? Are you traveling on a double-decker bus yet? Which tense do we need here? We have the first verb is in the present perfect, the second one is in the future, the third is in the present progressive. We have yet at the end of the sentence. We have already said that with yet we use the present perfect. Have you traveled on a double-decker bus yet? We have finished with this exercise. Now we have another video sequence about tourism in Tunisia now. Let's watch it together. We want to talk about what our country is famous for and why many tourists come to visit it. It's a video sequence about Sidi Bou Said. You can see here the white houses, the windows. Sidi Bou Said is famous for its typical windows. It's a village near the sea. This is Sidi Bou Said. It's one of the nicest places of Tunisia. This is a marina. This is a special architecture of doors and windows. It has many specificities in architecture. Its windows are special. They have special designs and forms. Look here at the traditional houses. This is Sidi Bou Said. Now, I hope you have enjoyed watching this short film about the magnificent places our country has to offer to its visitors. Let's try to talk about it and focus on the things that Tunisia is famous for. Tunisia is famous for a great variety of beaches. It has a long coast featuring different types of beaches. We can see here the marina, we can see a rocky beach, and we can see also a sandy beach. Tunisia has beautiful sandy beaches. We have here 3 pictures of the finest sandy beaches. And we can see also a man who is sunbathing. Tourists enjoy Tunisia and they like its sun, its sea, and its sand. Is this a sandy beach? Of course not. This is the fine sand of the desert. It's another part of Tunisia, the desert. Tunisia is famous for its unique desert. Tourists enjoy it, especially if they don't have it in their countries. And Tunisia is famous for its thick and special palm groves in the middle of the desert. Many oases lie in the middle of the desert. They symbolize the living nature in the middle of the dead one. It's a beautiful sight of the palm groves. They are impressive, they are nice to see. This is a picture of caves. People still live in these old places. They symbolize the typical architecture of Tunisian buildings. This is another picture of traditional houses, old and historical houses. These are pictures of the legendary village of Sidi Bou Said. As we have already spoken about in the video sequence, Sidi Bou Said is famous for its typical architecture, its white houses with blue doors and windows, which have special designs. Here we can see a traditional cafe. People visit it and enjoy drinking coffee and tea with mint. This is another picture of the desert. It shows the exciting red lizard train. It's an antique train which is used to take tourists in tours in the middle of the desert, unusual tours. This is a picture of a man riding a horse. Do you think that he is having a race? No, he's rather dancing with his horse during a festival. Tunisia is well known for its attractive festivals, especially during tourist seasons. We are also famous for our monuments, our mosques, and this is a picture of a fort. What is this? This is the Roman Colosseum in El Jem. It's widely visited. Many tourists who enjoy seeing the ancient ruins come to see it. After long tours and sightseeing, tourists normally need to relax. This is another picture of the Roman Colosseum. Where do tourists relax after touring? They go to hotels and relax. We have many comfortable and relaxing hotels. We have many luxurious resorts which have many leisure activities and which offer excellent facilities for vacationers. This is a tour on camels. This is a picture showing tourists having camel rides. They really enjoy it. Tourists really enjoy camel rides, especially across the desert. This is a view from a hotel. It's a magnificent view showing the blue and the white everywhere. It shows also the crystal water. Do you think that we have a really great country? Of course, yes. Look here. This is a picture showing the jasmine and fool bunches. People everywhere like flowers. They symbolize friendship and love, but we have more. We have the jasmine and the fool bunches. Do you think that we are lucky to live in such a place? Of course, yes. But let's discover the point of view of a tourist who has just come from Tunisia. Do you remember that we have spoken about Joe, who is a traveler, and that we have seen him at the check-in desk when he was coming to Tunisia? Now Joe visited Tunisia, and he wrote an email to his friend. Let's read the email together. Dear Ruth, I'm sorry I haven't replied to your email for so long. My dad has been ill, but he's better now. I've just come back from a holiday in Tunisia. We go there every year. We usually go in July because that's the best month for swimming and sunbathing. I stayed in a sea waterfront hotel featuring sea sports such as windsurfing and swimming. We also had a lot of time to do some sunbathing. The restaurants serve both international and traditional Tunisian food. I attended the International Music Festival. It was held in El Jem Coliseum. Hearing the music of famous artists and symphonic orchestras in El Jem was an unforgettable experience. Tunisia is a country really worth visiting. Yours, Joe. Did you like Tunisia? Of course, yes. Let's answer the first question. Joe wrote the email to advise his friend to visit Tunisia or to describe a trip in Tunisia or to speak about his father's illness. What do you think? He clearly spoke about his father's illness and he described a trip in Tunisia. But were they his objectives? Of course not. He wanted to advise his friend to visit Tunisia. The correct answer is Joe wrote the email to advise his friend to visit Tunisia. Let's move now to question number 2. With reference to the letter, the activities Joe could do in Tunisia are. We have some pictures. Picture number 1 is of sunbathing. Picture number 2, fishing. Then we have a man who is swimming. This is a picture of surfing. This boy is playing football. And finally we have bodybuilding. Which of them are in the letter? Which of them Joe practiced? I don't know. The computer is gonna tell us. The words that appear in green are the activities that Joe practiced. The activities in red are the activities that Joe didn't mention in his letter or in his email. Number 1 is in green. So yes, Joe did some sunbathing in Tunisia. Picture number 2, fishing, is in red. In fact, no, Joe didn't mention any fishing activities in his email. Swimming is in green. Yes, Joe swam in Tunisia. What about surfing? Did he mention any surfing? It's in green. Yes, surfing is an activity that Joe spoke about. Football, playing football is in red. So, no, Joe didn't play football in Tunisia. What about bodylifting? Surely not. And it's in red. Bodybuilding is not an activity that Joe did in Tunisia. We have another exercise of language. Let's put the verbs and words in brackets in the right tense or form. Dear Frank, how are you? As you know, I'm in Cairo, Egypt, and I'm having a wonderful time. My, between parentheses, we have the word fly, the verb to fly, arrived here on Wednesday. My, what do we need after mine? My is a possessive adjective. We need a noun after my. Let's check. Yes, my flight arrived here on Wednesday afternoon. A coach took we from the airport. We is subject pronoun. Do we need here a subject pronoun? No, of course we don't, because we already have a subject in this sentence. A coach. A coach is our subject. A coach took what? A coach took, we need here an object. So we need the object pronoun us. A coach took us from the airport to our hotel in the center of Cairo. The hotel is very luxury. We have here the noun luxury. Do we need a noun here? The hotel is very. What do we need after very? We need an adjective. What is the adjective from the noun luxury? Luxurious. The hotel is very luxurious. And the view from my room is fantastic. Cairo is quite an exciting city. It's very busy and full of colors. Today, we visited the sites near Cairo. We, between parentheses, we have see, the verb to see, the pyramids, which are very impressive. In which tense do we need to put this verb? Let's look at the beginning of the sentence. We have today we visited, so we need the simple past. Let's put see in its past form. We saw the pyramids, which are very impressive. I can't believe how huge they. The verb is to be. We need it in, of course not in the simple past. The pyramids still exist. We need it in the present, the simple present. I can't believe how huge they are. Some people tried ride camels. What do we need here? Tried is a verb. After tried we have another verb, so we shouldn't make it in any tense. We need it in its infinitive form. Some people tried to ride camels, but they said it was quite uncomfortable. Tomorrow we are flying to Luxor. There is no past here. We are speaking about a future plan, a future intention. There we are going to visit the temple of Ramses. The following day, the verb is to begin, a cruise on the Nile. We said that we moved now to the future, so let's transform begin into the future. We will begin a cruise on the Nile on a luxurious boat, and we are going as far as Aswan. I'm really looking forward to go on a cruise on the Nile. How can we transform the verb go here? We have looking forward. After looking forward, we need the verb in its ing form. I am really looking forward to going on a cruise on the Nile. I must go now because it's lunchtime. See you when I get back. Your friend, Ben. We're finished now with this exercise. Let's move to the writing. Tunisia, the land of all sorts of attractions. Let's look at this picture taken in Tuzur and try to describe it. It's the picture of the desert, the dunes, and the camels. The following hints can be used to describe this picture. Authentic desert scenery. The second hint is camel riding. Then we have safaris, car rides, and dunes. We also have to speak about the sunset. Do you think that sunset in the desert is beautiful? Surely, yes. Sunset in the desert is amazing. Let's try to make some sentences using these hints. The first hint, authentic desert scenery. What can we say? We can say that Tozeur offers an authentic desert scenery, for example. The second hint is camel riding. We can say that tourists can enjoy camel riding across the desert. Then we have safaris, car rides, and dunes. Can we ride cars across the dunes? Of course we can. We can ride camels across the dunes, and we can also ride cars. We can go on safaris, and we can go on car rides across the dunes. Then we can speak about the sunset. We can say that Tozeur, or desert in general in Tunisia, has a beautiful and amazing sunset. Now, what else can visitors to Tozeur do? They surely can buy souvenirs. They can go shopping in open-air markets. And they can stay in comfortable hotels. They also can enjoy the typical architecture of the buildings in this picturesque town. Let's try to make some sentences. Any visitor to Tozeur can enjoy buying souvenirs and can go shopping in open-air markets. There are many comfortable, many luxurious hotels. Of course, many tourists come to Tunisia, especially to go on rides. We even have rallies in Tunisia. You can admire the wonderful moments of the sunset. Sunset is beautiful everywhere. What about in the desert? In the desert, the sunset has another charm. We have many fantastic views. We have many fantastic places in Tunisia. It's really a place of attractions, a place of wonders. You can buy souvenirs and traditional clothes from the daily open-air market. Now, as you can see, we have spoken about Tunisia as a land of attractions, and we have seen its diversity. We can say that it's a multifaceted country. There are many forms of tourist places. We have seen together the sea, the desert, the architecture, and we have spoken about the jasmine, the welcoming people, etc. So there is no wonder why any visitor to Tunisia falls under the charm of this country.